This will be the first in a number of experiments that I am doing to attempt to create a little content that might be helpful and useful to you. And I'm going to be reading a little bit from a book called Enlightenment Now by Steven Pinker, which is an incredible book that's making me very happy right now. I don't really like working all that much, and that, that may come as a surprise to you because I'm producing as much as I possibly can. It's mostly out of desperation and a desire not to run out of money. So, and it's not because I'm so brilliant that I'm doing this either, because I have no idea what my business model is. So you could think of this as a YouTube channel that is going to give you examples, perhaps, of all the things that you might not want to do if you wanted to start a YouTube channel of your own. And you could look at it as an ongoing chronicle of those kinds of things. So today, Daniel has decided to read a little bit from Enlightenment Now. And we're going to see how much of a winner that is. I want to start with a little story that Stephen tells at the beginning of the book, where he's giving a lecture and a woman raises her hand and asks the question, "Why should I live?" And he said she certainly wasn't suicidal. She wasn't being sarcastic. It was a sincere and curious question. And he answered like this: "In the very act of asking that question, you are seeking reasons for your convictions. And so you are committed to reason as the means to discover and justify what is important to you. And there are so many reasons to live. As a sentient being, you have the potential to flourish. You can refine your faculty of reason itself by learning and debating. You can seek explanations of the natural world through science and insight into the human condition through the arts and humanities. You can make the most of your capacity for pleasure and satisfaction, which allowed your ancestors to thrive and thereby allowed you to exist. You can appreciate the beauty and richness of the natural and cultural world. As the heir to billions of years of life perpetuating itself, you can perpetuate life in turn. You have been endowed with a sense of sympathy, the ability to like, love, respect, help, and show kindness. And you can enjoy the gift of mutual benevolence with friends, family, and colleagues. And because reason tells you that none of this is particular to you, you have the responsibility to provide to others what you expect for yourself. You can foster the welfare of other sentient beings by enhancing life, health, knowledge, freedom, abundance, safety, beauty, and peace. History shows that when we sympathize with others and apply our ingenuity to improving the human condition, we can make progress in doing so, and you can help to continue that progress." So that's pretty cool, very inspiring to me. And one of the reasons why it's significant to me is because he's putting reason at the center of the question of why we should live, which is, in a way, you could say, sort of bizarre. A lot of things don't make sense. And I haven't personally been an aficionado of critical thinking most of my life. In fact, I have been more of a fan of fuzzy, weird thinking for most of my life. So this is a new phase that I'm entering into and that I want to share with you. I want to read one more paragraph from the book, because he's in this book really making a defense of the Enlightenment approach. And by the Enlightenment, he's referring to that watershed period in history when science began to flourish and when people started to think of ways of improving life based on reason and genuinely trying to find answers, as opposed to accepting all of the accepted beliefs of the time. I said accepting the accepted beliefs. That's what I said. So he says the Enlightenment principle that we can apply reason and sympathy to enhance human flourishing may seem obvious, trite, and old-fashioned. I wrote this book because I have come to realize that it is not. More than ever, the ideals of reason, science, humanism, and progress need a wholehearted defense. We take its gifts for granted. Newborns who will live more than 8 decades. Markets overflowing with food. Clean water that appears with a flick of a finger. And waste that disappears with another. Pills that erase a painful infection. Sons who are not sent off to war. Daughters who can walk the streets in safety. Critics of the powerful who are not jailed or shot. The world's knowledge and culture available in a shirt pocket. But these are human accomplishments, not cosmic birthrights. In the memories of many readers of this book, and in the experience of those in less fortunate parts of the world, war, scarcity, disease, ignorance, and lethal menace are a natural part of existence. We know that countries can slide back into these primitive conditions, and so we ignore the achievements of the Enlightenment at our peril. So I'm going to leave today's episode with that paragraph and just put it in context of my own life. I'm trying to make a life, and I still haven't found what I'm looking for. So I'm attempting to create some content that might be interesting. And as I said, this has been an experiment. It may turn out not to really work. So we're going to see about the answer to that question. And I'll be back. Thank you for being with me.